Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Star Citizen. We are back in the race for Stanton, but this time we will work for Hurston Dynamics. I really hope we can reach tier 4 and get the ship colors before the event ends. To unlock all the missions we had to deliver 3 SCU first. Pretty much the same like we did for Microtech. 2 out of the 3 elevators were bugged and the third one was occupied by another player. Fortunately, this player had an atlas and knew how to handle it. So I decided not to help because I was afraid that our multi-tool would rather slow things down. A few minutes later, the elevator was free to use and we got our 3 SCUs. We accomplished our contract and unlocked all the other missions.
Just got word that you turned in that contract. That should help Hurston gain some ground.
First we did a large cargo haul, as we already did in a previous video. So we picked up our cargo at the designated outpost of Hurston Dynamics. I really like hauling missions, especially the ones on outposts. I love the atmosphere when you start and land and how busy they are during the event. We delivered our cargo and got rewarded with tier 1. The entire mission took about 45 minutes and we got 168 SCU for the race and about 75 Ks for the contract. Our next mission was a large stolen cargo retrieval. We flew to the outpost of the thieves and landed right in front of their gates. We had to eliminate their guards to get our cargo. Which should be 10 big boxes with 8 SCU each. Other than the last time we did this mission, the stolen cargo wasn't marked though. We still found 8 out of the 10 boxes and brought them into our ship. But somehow it didn't count. Honestly, I was rather frustrated and thought it was another bug, and so we took off again. Suddenly a missile was incoming.
Shields damaged.
I thought another player at first, but it turned out to be a turret. Someone told me in the comments that we can destroy them with big enough guns. So I wanted to know if our constellation is capable of doing so. It didn't work out from the distance, but I ain't quite sure if it was the distance or my bad aim. Anyway though, we got a little closer and it was down pretty quickly. Even better though, something triggered the mission and it suddenly said we got 80% of the stolen cargo. We still couldn't find the missing 2 boxes, and so we delivered what we got. This mission took about an hour, but honestly I spent many time looking for the missing boxes, so you can probably finish it within 30 to 40 minutes.
Great. That's a win. I'll make sure this gets locked.
We got rewarded with 64 SU for the race, which would be 80 if we would have got all the 10 boxes. On top we got 150k. So you get more money but less cargo for the race with those missions. Another way to take part at the race is mining. We can mine copper, tungsten and corundum by our own and deliver as much as we want. To do so we needed a mining ship, which we couldn't quite afford yet. So we did another of the large stolen cargo retrieval missions.
Wanted to let you know that you should be receiving a bonus from us. To show your appreciation, Hurston assumes that you will deliver at a higher rate going forward.
We reached tier 2 and got rewarded with a laser gun and the armor in the Hurston Dynamics colors. Then we headed to the New Deal ship shop and spent almost all our money for a prospector. It has been a while since we bought a new ship, therefore I was quite happy that our fleet is growing. We will have a closer look at mining in general and our new ship in an upcoming episode. But for this video we will focus on the race for Stanton. So we flew directly to Lyria, which is recommended by the mission to get tungsten, which is the most valuable of these 3 materials. I love how different each moon looks in this game. Also mining is such a nice feature, and since we didn't do it for a while I enjoyed it quite a lot. The Toby head tracking system we got from Tyrannicus is such a nice tool. Especially for mining, to look around in the ship, it's so nice to have. Therefore big thanks again to Tyrannicus. The resources take a while to spawn in when you arrive at the moon or any other place. Therefore it took a couple of minutes until we found our first box. Somehow it wasn't tungsten, it was corundum though, which we also needed, so I was fine with it. At this point I did remember how important the laser is. The default laser on the Prospector is radar weak, so I decided to upgrade it as soon as we would have the money. That said, you also shouldn't always listen to what the system says, because this work was shown as impossible, yet we managed to break it open. Our ship was full and so we needed a refinery. I really like the new feature of the star map that shows us which services are offered by the different stations. The White Forest station was right beside, and so we headed there. Compared to the Constellation, the Prospector is tiny. What I love at small ships though is that they are way more easy to handle. We took the elevator to the refinery, which has such a great atmosphere. We set up a work order and went for another one. Before we did so, we upgraded our laser. The power of the default laser offers about 1800. Our new laser can go up to 2500. We also bought an extra module, which offers 20% extra power on the laser, so in total we had about 3000, which is almost twice as much as the default laser. Our ship was full again, and this time we even got some tungsten. We flew back to the refinery and set up another work order. The next day we did 2 more runs, one with mostly cordonium, but at our last one we even found quantanium, which is the most valuable resource in this game. We collected our orders and loaded it into our constellation. I love the multi-tool. Then we went back to Lorville to deliver the goods for the race, which was a total of about 140 SCU. On top we got about 100k. The problem was, altogether it took us about 4 hours to do the 4 runs and the refinery stuff and to bring it back to Lorville. Therefore, as much as I love mining, I can't recommend it for the race for Stanton. At least not as a solo player. Anyway though, we also sold some gold and the quantanium we found, which made us another 90k. So at least we got some money. At the trade center of the business district, I found a room we never have been in before. It looks a little like the office from the director of the business district. Anyway though, I can't wait until we get quests from NPCs and have some interaction in all the stations and rooms like this one. Just look at the detail of this room. Like those pictures from the founders of Hurston. At least I think they are. I also like the globe, which is made out of copper, one of the main materials of Hurston. I really like the level of detail behind. Anyway though, we wanted to make another holing mission, because in my opinion they are the best for the race itself. They give you by far the most SU for the race. But once again the elevators were bugged. This time even none of the SV elevators worked. As you can see, even our ship was bugged, because the place was full of... I don't even know what it was. Looked like a gun or something from a ship. So we tried to clean up with our multi-tool. Suddenly this ship was shown green. And honestly I was so surprised, because I couldn't believe that our little multi-tool can handle this ship, that I had to try it. And guess what? It worked out. But it's illegal. So we didn't get only one, no, we got even 2 crime stats. Well done, mate. On the positive side, there was another mission popping up. One I never saw before, and so we immediately accepted it. A cargo ship was captured by pirates, and it was our job to bring back that cargo. The Constellation is a tank and the size 4 Reaper are brutal. So we got rid of them quite easily and approached the cargo ship. I love those moments in space. I'm so jealous of all those who did repairs on the International Space Station. Imagine being out there and looking down on the Earth. Jeez. Must be wonderful. Anyway though, I didn't know the ship and so we had to look for an entrance first. We found the elevator at the back and entered the ship. After a while we found a button which opened at least one part of the cargo. Back in space I noticed that we can also open them from outside of the ship. Somehow the ship has 4 different cargo areas, which are separated from each other. We went back to our Constellation and repositioned our ship. We used our tractor beam to get the cargo into our ship. We needed all the space for the cargo and so we parked our Atlas somewhere outside. Some cargo boxes were quite big and we couldn't take all of them with us. So the last box, which was worth 24 SCU, didn't fit in. I didn't want to accept this and so I tried to fit it in. Even if I knew that I can't close the cargo bay anymore. I wanted to try to fly back with an open cargo bay. Which we also did, but the box bugged out during the quantum jump. Was kind of obvious, but I had to try. So we delivered only 8 of the 9 boxes and got in total 107 SU for the race. In total we spent 50 minutes for this mission. We also paid the fine for our crime stat. 32 freaking Ks. Anyway, we had to try. After all, I would say that the large cargo hauling missions are still the best to get as much SU for the race as possible. It's interesting because these are the missions with the lowest risk. I can recommend to play each of these missions though. They are fun and offer some diversion to the more relaxing hauling gameplay. They also offer enough SU to make some progress in the race. Well, beside mining, I can't recommend mining for this event. Again, at least as a solo player. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions or tips for the ways of Stanton, then let me know in the comments please. Your Mombi.